So now that we're discussing Google Classroom a little more, we're going to talk about some items that you're going to see when you're working inside of Google Classroom. Two of the things that you're going to see are assignments and materials. So let's talk about that. What are assignments versus materials? So assignments, that's like an assignment in class. It's work that will require the action on behalf of the student. So they're going to have to do some work, and they're either going to turn that work in if it requires something that needs to be completed and turned in, usually using something like Google Docs or some other attachment, maybe an image, maybe a PowerPoint, something needs to be attached to the assignment. Or if it was just something they needed to do on another website, they will mark as done. Now, an example of that would be something on like Spelling City or Writing City or Scholastic News. So something that's assigned, but there's nothing really to turn in Google Classroom. That signals to the teacher that you are completed with that. There's nothing else that you need to do. You're done. And basically like you've turned it into the turn-in box in the classroom. That lets us know it's done, ready to be reviewed, graded, commented on, or whatever else that teacher needs to do on their end. Now, when it comes to materials, these are more like resources or items that I want your students to look at, but we may not be grading it. So an example might be a website that we use for reading or for videos. There's a lot of options that we have here. Like if I want students to watch a video on, the sounds that the letters make or the sound that a bossy R makes. But there's nothing to turn in. I just want them to view that. That doesn't make it any less important. There's just nothing to actually turn in or mark as done for that. Something else here might be like trimester words. So I'll put it in the materials for them to review. It'll have a game or something like flashcards for them to review those words, but they're not going to be turning it in. That's just something for them to go to practice those things. Okay. So students should be doing and viewing and participating in both of those items. Just one is going to be turned in as like their work for it to be reviewed by the teacher. And the other is something for them to view or read, but there's nothing to actually turn in. Both of them are important, but one requires a action to be turned in by the student on their end.